Okay, I believe we are closing in on the final chapter here, if we're not already there. So let's just dive right back into Chrysanthemum Tea, JP the Third as well, always here with you, and let's just see how this crazy thing ends. Slowly, lights started to come back on, and the cars that I couldn't see started to become visible. I waited for about a minute or two, but there was nothing noticeable at all. She stood there, slumped against the wall, with no movement at all. I started to wonder whether she was conscious or not. I moved closer to her until the features of the silhouette started to become clearer. A girl with wavy hair who wore a blossom pink dress. I shook her shoulders to check whether she was conscious or not. Hello, are you alright? Soon I... Wait, what? Obviously it's Chrys. How come you don't recognize her? Soon I saw a pair of bright green eyes look at me. Immediately she lowered her head again. Thank you, Theo. The orb is back. I don't know how, but thank you. I was surprised. Her voice didn't have the usual ring to it. It was just soft, airy, and low. She was mimicking the voice which I heard when I met her the first day. The only difference was that it didn't sound forced, nor did it sound like a male's. Are you still avoiding her? She tilted her head, which I took as a confirmation. I'm going back now. Hopefully everything will be alright. She walked closer to me and looked up at me with her signature smile plastered across her face. You don't know how much it means to me, but thank you. Not just for the orb, but, well, just being there. I hope I can see things turn out for you. I nearly fell asleep waiting for you. I don't know why I stood here for this long. I guess I just wanted to say that. Chrys pulled her hood over her head and slowly treaded away from me. I watched her moving further until she took the other turn and vanished from my sight. I'm confused as well. About you, Chrys. Rena's words still clearly echoed in my head. About the whole shop being absurd. She didn't need to say that for me to know it was true. More specifically, it was the people who were working there that were mysterious. Ming's motives and actions may be questionable. I never even seen the lady. I don't even have to start talking about the location and the mysterious ambience the shop gave off. Yet, Chrys couldn't be a bad person no matter how much she might be hiding, could she? Somehow, it'd be harder to accept. This air, is suffocating. I feel like I'm slowly shriveling up, just like the garden. It won't be long before I slowly disappear. Is there any hope for her in these remaining dried up petals? What the heck? Where are we? What the heck? New background! Wow! Great! Mr. Studious is back, isn't he? I rarely even ever see Rena studying. I know she must study, but I rarely ever see her do so. It's as if she can pass all of her exams without studying. But the key word here is pass. She doesn't do exceptionally well. Today was one of those rare instances in which Rena suddenly pops up dumping her pile of study materials in front of me. Theodore, can you hear me? I continued staring at the exact same page in my textbook as I was 5 minutes ago. How long are you going to give me that silent treatment? I know you can probably recite every word on that page right now. I'm not giving you any silent treatment. Yes, Mr. Studious is definitely back. It's good to have you back, Theo. Are you sure you're not just pissed off at me? You're not just pissed off at me? Let me try again. Are you sure you're not just pissed at me because of how I was yesterday? Look, I'm sorry about how ambiguous I was, but I didn't plan to tell you then. You would have thought I was weird. I still think you're weird, though. Of course I'm annoyed. I just can't be bothered with it. I know you won't end up telling me even if I ask you what you meant. Besides, I have important things to do. You still look glum. Why don't you try figuring out the reason? Cool, another guessing game, my favorite. There's me pissing you off yesterday, but you look normal, so... Is working at the bar really the best idea? Couldn't you have chosen a job related to what you're studying? Or at least, can't you get a job which doesn't end up making you look like a zombie the next morning? It's not like I have many choices. The job helps me cover college fees and my bills, so I can put up with it. I can put up with it. Why don't you move into a smaller house? Is it a house or an apartment? Those are two different things. You wouldn't have to pay as much. My house is cramped enough already. I don't think I can manage in a smaller house. Why are you suddenly concerned about my lifestyle anyway? Trying to figure out why you look so glum. Could be because you work late. You look glum as usual, not exceptionally moody, which means you work late almost every night. If you're done examining my lifestyle, I'd like to hear how things are going on your side. Like, why have you dumped all your econ books on this table? Theo, I'm going to be blunt about this. Rena leaned towards me and supported herself by putting her hands on the table. She lowered her head in a defeated position. What the hell is going on in this class? Why are you asking me? You pretty much memorized every single word in that textbook. I see you staring at it almost every day. That's a slight overstatement. I may be studying from this textbook, but I might not end up doing any better than you do. Oh please, you do way better than a lot of us. Don't act humble all of a sudden. That's another overstatement. I failed a lot of exams this semester. I don't care what you think. I'm convinced that you can help me pass again. Even though you failed countless times, you're way better than me and you look like you're trying to improve. You're also my only friend who actually understands what the lecturer is saying. Fine, I'll help you. Don't blame me if I can't be of much help. Rena dragged another chair and plopped down next to me. She began plucking out textbooks and notes, of which some looked like the ones I lost, from the haphazard pile. Even though you're desperate to improve, isn't stealing your friend's notes a bit... I think we all know what I'm capable of. So, my dear friend, teach me everything we have covered since the start of the year. Oh, joy. One eternity later. Yeah, with economics, it's an eternity and a half. I guess some of this does make sense. At least these words don't look so alien to me anymore. Excuse me. Rena leaned back on her chair and looked up at the ceiling. Her mouth opened and closed like a goldfish. Rena, we've been stuck here for 3 hours. If you still need more time to register this information, I have no words for you. It makes me wonder whether you actually studied econs before. It's official. Screw economics. How do you like the subject so much, Theo? I guess I just don't find money as distasteful as you do. It's something that I loved learning about even before college. You said I find money distasteful. I have loads of it. Wow, little Miss Rich Kid is back. Yeah, Theo, I'm just a two-dimensional person who thinks about nothing but how rich she is and considers everyone else as commoners. In reality, however, Karina has to accept the fact that her heirloom left behind will run out eventually. Heirloom. I meant to say heirloom. Thus, she has to put up with such mind-boggling. Ooh, chill out. And then that's for an entire biography on you. I feel dead. The spirit inside me has just got crushed. I finally know how you feel like. Hey, are you saying I act dead all the time? Fine, I admit you're not like that all the time, but when you're glum, you're really glum. Yeah, let's all accept the fact that I've been raised from the dead. Nah, I guess you're more lively than that. We better clean up this pile. It's spilling all over the tables. We could probably order another drink after that. I don't need any drink, Theo. It's getting late anyway. I have to go home. It's not that late. I need to look over what you gave me. That lecturer might give us another test tomorrow. Fine, I have to go to work later. I'm serious, Theo. You might want to consider other job opportunities. Sure. I'll catch you later. Of course, I thought about how Rena and I were able to have a perfectly normal conversation today. We didn't even bring up what happened yesterday too much. Oh, crap. That was sudden. Hi, Theo. Speaking of everybody acting unusually normal today. What? Why are you here? I felt like joining you. I was waiting for you to pass by, but you came late today. A friend and I were cramming for a test tomorrow. Ah, test. They're such pesky things. It reminds me of when I was in school. I love history, but I despise a lot of the other subjects. I guess math and science were alright, but I loved history. I didn't think you would like history. I thought most people would find it boring. Exactly. I don't get it. History is interesting. We learn about how our ancestors messed up and ruined everybody's lives. What? Acting sadistic isn't really my style, is it? Definitely not. You make history sound interesting. When I was still in secondary school, it was the first thing I wanted to drop. I guess not many people can withstand history as well as I do. That means you don't go to college then. Not yet. No wonder you always have free time. Get my list of things I gotta make a list of. Continue my list. Hey, I have a lot of things to deal with back at Auntie Ming's shop. Are you doing anything exciting today? I'm going to work later, that's about it. Do you know what the definition of fun is? Look, I've seen you for the past few days already, and all you've been doing is idly chatting with me or working at that shop. Is that what you call fun? Yeah, why not? Why do you even find fun at that old shack? I talk to people, even though a lot don't come, and I sort out and polish all the pretty jewelry there. I like cleaning the shop and... Wait, you actually clean up that shack? It's not that obvious. At least I got rid of the cob. Hold on, let me try that again. At least I got rid of all the cobwebs there. The spiders will not bother us anymore. Who knew? I also like watching Auntie Ming look at fortunes. That's it. It's much more fun than making and serving drinks. As if. It's so nosy sometimes at the bar. How do you deal with it? I just deal with it. Of course the noise gives me headaches sometimes. Why don't you choose a quieter job? I just had that exact same conversation today. I didn't have too many options and the pay's good, so I took it. Money isn't everything, Theo. It's all about the satisfaction. Now it's time for Chrys's philosophy of the day. Hey, so that's what you call it. You make me sound so cool. I don't know why I did that either. I've got another break today. Auntie Ming doesn't want to see my face today. You can always use your hood. Haha, very funny, Theo. I probably won't go back there for a while. Let's do something else fun. I don't know, Chrys. I have a lot of... You just said you studied for your test. It's not like I'm being completely unreasonable. What are you going to do? I don't know. I'm not good with outings. Then how do you know it'll be fun? Right now I only have two options. I could go back to the shop and sit in the corner where Auntie Ming won't see me, or I could aimlessly walk around and wait for time to fly. Both of those options sound utterly boring. However, I could always introduce a third option where I could at least spend time with a friend. So I've permanently escalated from stranger to friend now? Yeah, why not? That option might not be available though. One thing you have to learn about me is that I don't go by traditional methods, Theo. I want to create a better solution for myself. I was only there for a limited amount of time. Please join me before the window closes. You don't have to add that dramatic effect, I'll join you. Really? Great. Whoa, don't hump me again. Sure. What do you think we should do? You know any other interesting place we can go to? Do you think it's the best idea to ask me? Like, I like the dialogue, but they are really dragging this out. Like, just go where you're going. Oh yeah, you don't really go to places, do you? Well, I don't care where we go as long as it isn't boring. What do you usually do when you're not working with Meg? I aimlessly wander down the streets until I find something interesting. And I thought my life was really boring. Let's just go along with my plan. Sure, I have no better idea anyway. Good grief, that drug. Sometimes your sudden bouts of maturity and philosophies are a bit scary. For a person like you, that is. Like I said, Theo, stereotyping is a bad virtue. Someday people should stop stereotyping and discrimination. That sounds impossible. Stereotyping is a way of life. Well, all things have to start from somewhere. I guess she's right about that. I believe that if I start doing something, it will change other people as well. You know, I can never accept that optimism from you. That's who you are. You're cynical and materialistic while I'm optimistic and act like a child. It's a funny story, isn't it? Why do you act like a child anyway? That's like asking why I have blonde hair. Yeah, but you seem perfectly aware that your behavior is odd. Yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. A lot of people have called me childish before. I've never bothered to change it. We've been walking like this for hours. How do you live like this? Now that you mention it, this is getting a little old. I guess I had nothing better to do. But this is a little different because talking to you is fun. How do you find this fun? You're an interesting guy. That's why this is fun. Before you ask why I find it interesting, that'll be a difficult question to answer. Yeah, I admit I'm getting a little more predictable at this. I appreciate your curiosity, Theo, but some of your questions are unreasonable. It's like asking why the sky is blue and why the grass is green. Actually, the reason the grass is green is because... Seriously? Fine, if you must know. Chrys stares at the ground for a second or two before twisting her head to face me again. It's like when somebody gives you a present and you have to tear off all the wrapping paper to open the box. Except there are many layers of wrapping paper, so tearing off each layer is like an adventure. And don't you dare point out any flaws with this analogy. I can already imagine it myself. In that case, I see your point. Ooh, we found our agenda for today. Chrys dragged me to... a field? Man, that is a horrible looking 3D backdrop. If that is supposed to be 3D. It's so green other than the back brown spots in the field. It's completely open too, other than the fence that's right behind you. I don't know, there's a fence around the field, so we might be trespassing. Who cares? There's nobody here, so we won't get busted. There's so many ways this can turn out badly. Hold on, Theo. Chrys lifted her arms to mimic a bird and ran all the way across the field, skipping over the fence with great agility. She took a U-turn and ran back. She was running at an incredible speed. It looked like her cloak would fall off her at any moment. At any moment now. She was so fast that she couldn't stop running directly towards me. Whoa! Stop! 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 I stepped over to the side in time before Chrys collided with me, only for her to latch onto my arm and spin around me like a horse on a merry-go-round, which managed to make me lose my balance and fall onto the pavement. Talk about a chain reaction. Oh. What are you saying out for? I'm the one who fell down. I stood up and brushed the gravel from my clothes. Was confirmed that I haven't broken anything and was thinking straight. I glared at the mischievous girl. What the heck was that? I thought you were the one who would fall. See, Theo, I know how to save myself. I have to formulate a quick backup plan to stop me from falling. That was way too quick a reaction, even for me. Theo, what did I tell you? Stereotyping is a bad virtue, yes, I don't need another reminder. But you have to at least try to heed my words. Change is a hard thing, okay? Fine, I'll agree. But I saw you try to avoid me running into you. Didn't it occur to you to save me? How would I be able to save a person who's running into me? I don't know. You should have been the one to do the latching, not me. It's a basic reflex. That only happens in movies. In reality, I'll move to the side to save myself. That was mean. Hey, at least I tried to tell you to stop. If I had broken any of my bones, I would have sued you. You wouldn't do that. I barely have enough money to pay for college, even with my job. Of course not. I'm just that nice. Come on, let's... Okay, maybe this is the way they say it in another country, so I'll allow it. Come on, let going-bys be going-bys. Of course. Sorry about that. I've always wanted to run across a field. It's hard to see an open field in an industrialized city like this. Ooh, there's even a flower bed over there. Chrys plopped herself down and picked the flower off the ground. Avoiding treading on any of these flowers, I walked towards her. Wow, the art really changed there for her. Wow. The flowers here are so pretty, especially this red one. Chrysanthemums? Do you like them a lot? Yeah, it's rather obvious when you think about it. Everything about you does scream yellow chrysanthemums. It doesn't matter whether chrysanthemum flowers are my favorite. I love every other flower as well. They're so beautiful. It's too bad that it's hard to find pretty flowers like these. Excuse me. There are always flower shops, but those flowers die quickly. I like wildflowers. There's something different about them. What do you like about flowers? All of them look different. Each flower is pretty in its own way. Some may be colorful or smell nice, but there's something special about each of them. This little one will die soon since I plucked it. I just wanted to take a closer look at this flower, but I ended up killing it. All things will have to end soon, Chrys. You can't regret doing something when it's already over. You're right. All these flowers blossomed, excuse me, to die anyway. I just wanted to enjoy every moment of it. I wanted to... Wait. I have no idea what that last sentence was, but I'm going to assume it was deep and poetic, so... Oh god, we're 20 minutes... This was a 20-minute episode. I've been trying to avoid those long 20, 30-minute episodes, and we somehow slid into it. This thing is not an hour and 30 minutes. We have blown way past an hour and 30 minutes. So, unless that's just you're rushing through it. But I honestly, now that we've blown past the time limit, I don't know when we're going to end this, but we'll see what happens in the next video. We'll pick up right here with this choice. In the meantime, like this video if you're enjoying the series. Even if you're enjoying the series, it's because of me. It's kind of dragging itself now. We'll see how it wraps up, hopefully, in the next few videos. And so leave a like, leave a favorite, leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. And I will see you guys next time.